Deep in space within the Ruckbat sector lay a G-type star whose third planet was perfect for colonization. Man named it Pern and launched 3 immense colony ships that scythed across the vast reaches of space. After abandoning their craft in orbit, they settled on the planet below. As their new lives flourished on Pern, a new enemy approached. Every 200 years, the red star passed close to Pern. Deep within the tail of this comet, life existed. A single-minded parasite known as Thread. An enemy without conscience or feeling, whose only instinct was to destroy and devour the food-rich hunting grounds of Pern so it could survive. There was no escape from its appalling attacks. As the Thread hit the ground, it destroyed all organic life it touched. The colony was ravaged and was forced to take shelter in the mountains to the north as Thread laid waste to their equipment, destroyed their technology, and brought them to breaking point. With hope evaporating and on the verge of extinction, they turned to an indigenous form of life to save them. By genetically modifying fire lizards and utilizing their effective defense system, they created a new race of vast dragons. Named after the Earth legends they resembled, the fire-breathing reptiles took to flight to sear Thread from the sky. When the battle was over, the settlers returned to the simpler life. With the passing of time came the fading of memories. As time passed, they forgot about their home, about the machines that forged the land in which they lived, and eventually about the spacecraft floating in orbit. And now when Thread falls, the air is filled with the cry of dragon song, as the Dragonriders fly in formation again. It was nearing the end of the 7th pass, and 2 young men had been selected as candidates for impression. As the crowds gathered at the hatching grounds, the candidates prepared themselves for the ceremony to begin. The 2 could not have been more different. The elder, Roth, driven by ambition and family expectancy, eagerly awaited the arrival of the dragon that was to merge thought and consciousness, to become one with him. The other, Dalcor, was filled with fear. He had heard the tales about the dangers these ceremonies held. And when the egg cracked, the fledgling dragon began to make his way out of its shell. Roth stepped closer, pushing Dalcor aside, ignoring all sense of occasion and respect. The crowd stood on in awe and waited for the beautiful creature to break into the Pern air and select its rider for the first and only time. Roth leaned forward, waiting for the dragon to reach out and touch his mind. But the dragon pushed past him, knocking him to the ground, and advanced over to the terrified Dalcor. The young boy stared back, petrified, as the awesome beast studied his face. Then deep within his mind he heard a voice calling him soft and comforting. "Greetings, Dalcor, I am Zenth." The dragon spoke, using Dalcor's new dragon name. Zenth had chosen him. They were now as one, their thoughts intertwined forever. Dalcor had become a dragon rider. Roth stared on, bewilderment and confusion plain on his face. How could such a mighty animal possibly not select him? All his expectations were suddenly shattered as he pulled himself off the rocky floor. As Dalcor bonded with his new soulmate, Roth looked up to see his father turn his back, devastated by his son's failure, abandoning him to wallow in his own dishonor. Roth cried out to his father, but his cries fell on deaf ears. They had gone. Disgraced by his family, Roth was sent to Healer Hall in a bid to salvage his career, whilst the timid Dalcor grew strong and followed his destiny to the skies, with Zenth at his side forever.
Bad dream?
Too much wine is all. A new shipment from Bendon arrived last night.
I know.
Everyone had a good time, though. Just as Nalaya would have wanted.
She was a good whalewoman.
She'll be missed around here.
None will miss her more than Marath. She is desolate and risks leaving her clutch.
A gold never leaves her clutch, with or without their werewoman.
There is always a first time.
Then we must find a new werewoman for the golden egg in the hatching ground. I'm sure Sabor realizes the situation.
He does. My eye itches to call.
You always itch. Your hide and your belly are all you think about.
My hide needs oiling. The oil is on the shelves, unless you knocked it off in a stupor last night. The brush should be nearby. Would you like me to tell you how to use items in your inventory?
I think with my clouded head that would be useful.
Open your inventory by pressing the inventory button. Open your inventory by pressing the inventory button. Yes, the call?